Okay, so this Jeskai combo list is not new. It's from past standard with a few extra tools from Streets of New Capenna. But mostly it's exactly the same list as we had before. And the core is essentially the same. We have the idea of 4 Goldspan Dragons as a mana generator and a way to close down the game, combined with Unexpected Windfall and Galvanic Iteration. These cards need no introduction. But the point is that a lot of low to the ground aggro has been forced out of the meta by the various 3-color piles, Jund, Esper, some Naya as well, some Bant. And so standard has slowed down a fair bit, which means that there might be an opening to go way over the top. And that's what this deck does extraordinarily well. So if you can land a Goldspan Dragon and copy a few Unexpected Windfalls, you end up with a huge, gross pile of mana that you can use to cast multiple copies of Alchemist Gambit. And if you can cast Unexpected Windfalls as many times as you like on your turn with Goldspan Dragon and play for net 0 mana. If you have a Leer in play, you can double that. You can cast it from the graveyard over and over again. And then you have Show of Confidence. The point being that for every spell that you've cast this turn, this gets copied over and over again, and the dragon can get absolutely huge. So even if the dragon gets chump blocked in the air, if you can get it big enough, you can sacrifice it with the 1-of copy of Kazel's Fury, which just basically flings the dragon at their face and gives you that last extra bit of reach. We have 4 copies of Spikefield Hazard as important interaction, 2 copies of Voltage Surge. All of these are good at dealing with small creatures, so if we're dealing with something like Mono White, Boros, that kind of stuff, then Spikefield Hazard is going to be very important to deal with enemy Thalias, Malevolent Hermits, that kind of stuff. We are a little bit of a dog maybe against the what's it called, Fight Club, the Hideaway card that brings in the big toughness creatures, the 6/4 for 3. We don't have a lot of great removal for that, so we just need to sort of race. But this deck is pretty effective at doing that. In the board, the tools are pretty clear. You have the counter magic and the card draw for the grindy matchups, and you have the Dragon's Fires and the Cinderclasms for the creature matchups. Okay, and apparently Christmas and I are paired in round 1. We're playing against other degens. I think this is a double elimination tournament. So let's just jump straight in and see how the deck does. Okay, we're on the draw with early removal spell, expressive iteration, and Unexpected Windfall to draw us into stuff that we need. UCA Guard Approach is probably mostly dead, but we're pretty happy to keep this hand, I think, in a vacuum, knowing what we do about Christmas in particular. So we'll keep. We will lead with the Spikefield Hazard tapped on 1 unless we draw like a mountain. If we draw a mountain, then I think we'll keep it as a spell. Yep, so there's the cave. There's the initiate. We did draw a mountain. So I think we're happy to say go here. If he plays Thalia, then we'll Voltage Surge the initiate in response, and then we can Spikefield Hazard the Thalia. Ooh, Intrepid Adversary. So that's going to get Spikefield Hazarded. The question is whether we do it now or later. I think I'm down to do it now. It's a pretty aggressive start, but it's not the 2-drop he wants to play. I am guessing that this means his hand is mostly good 3-drops, because if he had good 2-drops, like the ones he would want to play are like Thalia, Luminarch Aspirant or something, and he's shown us he doesn't have those. So I think I want to just get the higher toughness creature out of play, and that will allow me, if I want to cast Dwari Disruption on their 3-drop, which seems appealing to me. And then, luckily we drew another Spikefield Hazard, so we know we're going to hit our land drop next turn. So the 3-drop is likely going to be Paulo here, I would think. Possibly Adeline, but I would think Paulo's more likely, just against an Izzet player with 6 cards in hand. Skyclave Apparition, however, is not one that I'm super interested in countering. Right? Yeah, I think the Dry Disruption is just more useful as a land. The Spike Field, the Voltage Surge, Spike Field Hazard will be possibly useful as a spell if I cast the Iteration next turn. Yeah, that's going to resolve. And the question is, am I going to kill the Skyclave Apparition or the Initiate? And I think the answer is the Skyclave Apparition. Because the Initiate's going to take a while to grow. We'll take one here. That's fine. It's his clock running, not mine, right? Yeah, good. And we will untap. We found a land. That's not bad. I suspect that Christmas is playing around Jwari Disruption, so I think another 3-drop plus a land is coming next turn, so the Jwari Disruption is unlikely to be good. He'll probably take Unexpected Windfall. Spikefield Hazard will deal with Paulo if they play it. He might not have a land, but I want to make sure that I'm able to cast the Windfall on curve as well. So the question is, which one of these do I play? And I think, knowing Christmas, he's probably playing around Jwari, so I will hold up Spikefield Hazard for that and cast Expressive Iteration next turn. Bolt in. Straight to combat, sure. So, it's not Adeline. Adeline you would play pre-combat. So probably Paulo. Another Skyclave Apparition, alright. That's fine. We find Galvanic Iteration. Do I want Unexpected Windfall next turn, or do I want to sandbag it a little bit with the Galvanic Iteration? So we're going to be taking 4 next turn, down to 13. That's not so bad. Paulo... he certainly would have played Paulo if he had it, right? My worry is that if we wait, then he might take it away from us. We don't have great removal. I think we're going to start with Expressive Iteration here and see what we find. Not great. Maybe I should have taken Lear, actually, come to think of it. Alright. Well, that sucks. So we'll hold up Spikefield Hazard in case he plays an Apollo here. Maybe I probably should have played the Spikefield Hazard tapped, in all honesty, to be able to jam the Goldspan Dragon. Yeah, that turn I don't think was played super well. If I was going to keep the Goldspan Dragon, I probably should have played the Spikefield Hazard tapped. But hopefully we just draw on tap land and we're not punished. Nope. Rewarded. Let's not let him go to combat. We do have Usia Guard approach in case one of the cards in his hand is Valorous Stance to deal with the dragon. So all we really want here is untapped land. Obviously, this has been one of his tamer starts. That's not great. I think we lead with Unexpected Windfall here to make the decision about our land. And if we draw, like, if we draw a removal spell, then we might want to play an untapped land. Should we draw it? Not sure what this pause is. It does feel like Valorous Stance, doesn't it? I can't imagine what else it would be. This takes 3 mana to trigger. I don't know what would give him priority other than literal Valorous Stance here. And we do not find untapped land, so we will just go ahead and play the Glacier and say go. We're going to take another 4 here minimum. But we do find Leer, which is kind of an important piece. Leer with Voltage Surge and double Spike Field Hazard in the bin is pretty frightening for him, I would have to think. But depending on what he does, I'm more inclined to play Goldspan next turn, just to get our mana going. We have Protection Spell for it. And I think we can win the race, unless he adds significantly to the board here. Main phase Wandering Emperor. Okay, that does add significantly to the board, there's no doubt about it. We can attack that down with the Goldspan Dragon now. Can also just jam Leer. This is going to attack us for 6, unfortunately. So we will go down to... We'll go down to 7. A Wandering Emperor plus next turn will hit, or will represent lethal. So what are our options? We can play Leer just to try to stuff their board. They can attack through it, though. That's not super appealing. We can play Leer, have Voltage Surge, and Spike Field Hazard. 2 cards to deal with their 1. Does not seem super appealing to me. I think I just want to get Goldspan Dragon down. Attack. And if necessary, we can tap down something with Usia Guard Approach. And as long as we don't die, I think we're in pretty good shape next turn. Valorous Stance, of course, doesn't protect against me tapping one of his creatures. So if he only attacks for 6, interesting. So if I let him attack and he flashes in the Wandering Emperor, then we are dead. So I think we have to do this now. And which one would I like to tap? He wants to put a counter on the Apparition, so it grows the Initiate next turn, so I guess I want to tap the Apparition. I could have Galvanic Iteration tapped both. If he has Wandering Emperor here, though, he does get to exile the dragon. Cathar. Okay. But Cathar, we can play Leer and Voltage Surge the Cathar and get back the dragon. So all is not lost. Usher's pretty good. Okay. So we find Alchemist Gambit. We are a little... We could just cast it, but I think we need to do better. So let us Voltage Surge the Cathar. Dragon comes back. We can always Spike Field Hazard the Usher. We get to Unexpected Windfall for free. So let's start here. Let's attack with the dragon. Unexpected Windfall. Pitch Leer. Find another dragon. Unexpected Windfall. Pitch Dragon. Find Galvanic Iteration. Let's cast Unexpected Windfall again. Pitch Land. Find another Show of Confidence. That's pretty good. So let us... We Spike Field Hazard. Yeah, this should work. Spike Field Hazard the Usher. Spikefield Hazard the Dragon. Show of Galvanic Iteration? I can't Galvanic Iteration and Show of Confidence because it'll make 2 blue and 2 red, and I won't be able to cast the white spell. So now we have to do this. So now we get a shitload of treasures. And we can do it again. And it looks like we got there. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's pretty satisfying. Okay, so obviously Christmas's draw was not the most aggressive that we've ever seen, but still, that was out of nowhere, right? That was he removed our dragon the previous turn, and we were still able to just kill him from basically nothing. That's pretty cool. So the sideboard plan I think is pretty simple here. We bring in the 2 Cinderclasms, we bring in the Dragon's Fires, and I think we cut some of the we become more of like an Izzet control deck. Cutting a lot of the protection. Just like try to remove the early creatures and cut some of the combo. Lear is like you win the game against mono white with Lear. You don't win it with Alchemist Gambit. Like if you slam Lear and hold it and keep it in play long enough, then you just win. So I think this is where we're at. Hey, okay. Good to see you. How are you doing? I hope you caught the end of that match, or that game. That was pretty cool. You still out of town? I know you've been gone for a little while. Okay, so we find ourselves on the draw again, obviously, with 2 Spikefield Hazards, 2 Goldspan Dragons, and a Dream. The Spikefield Hazards are good spells. I don't know how to evaluate this hand. It does stand a chance of just totally fizzling out. But, like, our biggest fear is just Thalia or some other, like, 1 toughness creature. Paulo comes down. We kill a lot of their early threats, because most of their toughest stuff has 1 toughness. Or their best cards have 1 toughness. I think I'm going to keep this. Monk of the Open Hand. Alright. Oh, this is his Planeswalker deck. He's playing the Grandmaster. I don't want to give him a chance to cast 2 spells if he has some, like, pump spell or something. We're just going to get this killed now. '21st is no bueno. Oh, no! Fuck. This is now out of Spikefield range. However, we do find another Spikefield Hazard. I'm not letting him... I'm not letting him Valorous Stance this Aspirant, so we're just going to kill it now. And if Paulo comes down, Paulo comes down. I hate 2-for-1ing myself there, but... if Paulo comes down, we still have 1 Goldspan Dragon left. We could find, like, Cinderclasm. We have a lot of things we can draw. Brutal Cathar, Naked Brutal Cathar is not really, I suspect, where he wants to be, although the fact that we can't do anything to avoid flipping it tonight sucks. Burn down the house, of course, very good. Seems like Wandering Emperor time. The weird mismatched planes. It's the Grandmaster. Okay, this grows by 1 per turn. Burn down the house is still going to hit everything. We're going to take a bit of a beating in the meantime. But as long as Paulo doesn't come, then we are okay. We find Thirst for Discovery. That ain't bad. We probably just cast this main phase So because we have the island to discard if we want. Indeed. And I guess the only thing I'm super scared of is Thalia. But if I play the red source, then it doesn't matter. Thalia will tax. I guess I can flip it to day if I want by casting the Spikefield Hazard now. That doesn't seem very good. Do I just play the Spikefield Hazard tapped? If I do, then he knows I have an answer for the monk, because otherwise I would hold it, right? So maybe the right play here is to just play the island. I think that's right. Once it's a creature, it can't be attacked anymore. Yeah, that's true. Elspeth is an interesting one. Hopefully he minuses.
There have to be answers about my past
here. Maybe this was a reason to play the red source. Because if he pluses Elspeth, then it's out of range to burn down the house. I didn't consider Elspeth. Well, he failed to find? Interesting.
Show him what you got.
Interesting. Okay, so he's just pumping the brute. I think that's okay. He can make it fly, I guess? I don't think the vigilance matters too much. Dragon's Fire. What does this do? It hits me for 3 life. Elspeth. It's a little awkward because this is going to be out of range next turn. Yeah, have I played myself into a corner here? What's the best thing to do? If I burn down the house, Elspeth lives. He plays the monk. Elspeth pluses on the monk. Then we have the Goldspan Dragon to follow up. That's probably best. I guess I want this on blue in case I draw Leer so I can have an extra blue source. Or like, I don't know, a 1-drop. Yeah, I hate this, but I think it's forced. You can have an Elspeth on 1 that I'll kill the following turn. Not that I'd be worried I rarely use creatures. Yeah, exactly, right. Like, creatures are... Goldspan Dragon is basically an enchantment for me. It's basically a mana doubler. Alright, so there's Monk. Do we have a second spell?
Let's do this together.
Does not look like it. It could be a land that he's holding. Christmas does hold his lands. He's a strong player. But it could equally be like a Valorous stance. If it is, then that kind of sucks. But at least we will have the Dragon's Fire to be able to kill Elspeth. And God, we have... Excuse me, we have Goldspan Dragons to burn. And we're just going to attack. Give me the treasure. And I will play the Spikefield Hazard tapped. And hold up Dragon's Fire. Another Elspeth, I suppose, makes some sense. Let's see what he does.
I'm not looking for trouble, but I'll fight if
We're going through the deck looking for
May your peace.
a permanent. Adeline. Okay. Hopeful Initiate's going to pump the monk. Alright, so what does our next turn look like? We can Dragon's Fire away the Adeline. If we do, that means we allow the monk to attack. We go to 10. Dragon's Fire, I guess he has a shield counter on it, so that doesn't look super great. We have a Goldspan Dragon. If we just let this happen, we take 3. We have 5. We have 6, 8 mana next turn. We can Goldspan Dragon. We can get 3 Goldspan Dragons into play next turn. I think if we keep our life total high, we're just fine. Alright. So, Goldspan Dragon. I guess we're attacking Elspeth for sure. Adeline's going to attack. It'll create a token. Hopeful Initiate will become a 2/2, so it'll be 2, 3, so 6 damage that we're taking next turn. We will get Christmas down to 16 like this, and then we'll be attacking for another 12, which is not enough, actually. Are we holding this dragon back? That seems crazy. But it does stuff him. No, because if we attack with both dragons, then we can cast the third. And this dragon can block. Yeah. Sean6051. Good to see you. How are you? And Covert Go Gina with the raid. Good to see you, Gina. How are you? How did your stream go? I see that you've been picking it up quite a bit. You've definitely been doing a whole lot more streaming than before. And the product has gotten a lot better. You've been doing a great job. Okay, so Cathar came down. Cathar was probably the best possible top deck for Christmas here. Let's see if we can respond in kind. We're going to take... We're going to go down to 6. We find another Goldspan Dragon. Okay. So we play a Goldspan Dragon, and we... How many Goldspans do we attack with is the question. If we attack with 2, we can block the Adeline next turn. We will take 3, 5, 6, 7. Too much. So we need to hold back 2 Goldspans. And attacking with 1 is enough to represent lethal next turn. So I think this is it. Handless airball? I mean, yeah, we've just been drawing creatures. This is what happens when you draw creatures. We are dead to another Cathar off the top. That would be pretty sick. You got a bunch of Eevees. What were you playing? Sure. Yeah. How are we attacking? We have to block Adeline if he attacks out, which would mean we would need something good off the top to win. No, if he attacks out, we block Adeline, we block the Cathar, we get another dragon back. So this is kind of okay. And if he doesn't attack out, then... Yeah, he holds the Cathar back. He gets 1. So we do still have to block Adeline in this case. Because he's gonna create 1 more token. And Adeline will just become a 6-power creature anyway. So we win if we find removal, essentially. So I think this is the play. 3, we take 5. Oh, wait, what am I saying? Obviously we block like this. We kill the initiate, and we take 2. Were you playing Arceus over there, or were you playing Let's Go Eevee? I assume we're going to throw away the initiate to kill one of my treasures. That's acceptable. We have a lot of good draws in the deck, but if we draw land, I think we are dead. Hello? That does it, right? Leer into Dragon's Fire for lethal. Cool. That was much closer than game 1. Still, this deck is super powerful. Thank you, HG. Okay, we are on the draw against what is certainly an aggro deck. I'm not sure which kind of aggro deck, and we have... I don't know, this is kind of a loose keep. We have 2 tap lands off the start. We do have a Voltage Surge for anything she plays on 1. If we draw any land, then we'll have Prismari Command. We have Leer. We have Burn Down the House for Planeswalkers. Alright, I'll keep. We do need a little bit to go right here. Alright, so Miria makes me think that she did settle on Esper. There's the Butt Pirate. That's going to get Voltage Surged. And I don't know if she plays protection spells, but we're just going to kill this on sight. And we do need to draw land. Rafine's pretty good. We did draw the land, though. That's pretty great. We have double red already. I guess we're just going to play this on red. Rafine will outgrow Burn Down the House pretty quickly, so we may actually be forced to play Burn Down the House next turn. We can do that with Prismari Command, so hopefully she just attacks and plays out a bunch to the board here. She does not have Wandering Emperor mana available, which is kind of important. It means she will not be able to pump the Rafine out of range of Burn Down the House. Do I think Veggie will be able to do a Rafine parody of Rasputin? I don't know what Rasputin is. And she pinned a land, so her hand is probably fairly weak. Nothing. Alright. I will make a treasure and I will loot. So, oh, the 4 mana here is probably Obscura Interceptor. Interesting. So that's going to get flashed in. Hmm. I want to keep the land. I kind of want to keep the March. But if I phase out her stuff on her turn, then that means I can't burn down the house anyway. So it's probably Lear's Show of Confidence. I could also bin the Galvanic Iteration to get some flashback value out of it. But I think I want to keep it in hand. Yeah. Find Goldspan Dragon. So Obscura Interceptor. It's gonna happen and there's just nothing I can do about it, right? Do I jam the Goldspan Dragon into it? Or do I force her to flash it in for nothing? I am not sure. I think I just say go. If I do and she has it, then she just gets to attack with Rafine again. Alright. And there's just a chance that she doesn't have it too, although I can't imagine. Yeah. Okay. So I had to give up a treasure to do this, but if we draw untap land, then... we still get to replay the Goldspan Dragon, so this is not terrible. And we also have Burn Down the House. These lists, I don't think, run too many interceptors either. So if we draw untapped land, then Burn Down the House, I think, is something that they won't be able to interact with. I don't know. That's a tough spot. Like, the interceptor was essentially face up. But I don't think I wanted to give her the opportunity to just not play it, because Rafine being in play alone lets her advance the board state. And we did find it. Okay. So there's nothing to it except burn down the house here. And next turn, hopefully we can... hopefully her best here is to just rebuy the Tenacious Underdog, and we get to play the Goldspan Dragon again. Underdog from hand. Underdog from hand. Nice. Okay. We're gonna take 6. I think this is fine. Because we have Lear. Oh, where'd my mouse go? There it is. So she can blitz back the Tenacious Underdog. And we take 9. She's not doing that. So possibly Wandering Emperor she finally found? Indeed. So we're gonna save the Goldspan. The question is, are we gonna phase out the underdogs or not? Is there any value to doing that? I think the answer is no. So we'll just do this for x equals 1. We did find Stormcarved Coast. We have Lear to recur March. So everything is coming up Millhouse. Gonna attack the Wanderer.
See you later.
We have Lear. And I think we wait to combat before we do anything. We could just burn down the house, I suppose. Make a bunch of devils. That doesn't seem great. I think we just untap. Kill the underdogs during combat so she can't blitz them back. Powering up the Hive. Okay. So this is a 3/3. Do we just kill this with Voltage Surge? Can also Galvanic Iteration Prismari Command. Kill the Hive. Block an underdog. Loot a bunch. Yeah, I think I like that. When you use Galvanic Iteration, you need to use the same modes with your modal spells. Yeah, sure. So she just sort of ran out of gas there. But the March of Swirling Mist was timely for dealing with the Wandering Emperor. If we hadn't had that, then I'm confident that we lose the game. Okay, so this is... we do have a sideboard guide for this. Reed Duke recommends we bring in Cinderclasms. Let's see, what did she have, though? We had the Tenacious Underdogs, so Cinderclasm is good there. It doesn't hit Rafine. It hits Luminarch Aspirant. It hits Wandering Emperor Samurai tokens. Definitely want the Dragon's Fires. Cinderclasm. This doesn't seem so good. I think this is another one where just Lear wins the game. We don't need the combo element. I don't think I want... Do I want some number of Beholds? Not sure. I don't think I need another Alchemist Gambit. She's playing Esper, so she will have some access to, like, counter magic. Yeah, Prismari Command did not seem super great. Maybe it's just this. Yeah, this isn't... I don't think this is going to turn into, like, a control matchup. And I think we have the tools anyway with Galvanic Iteration. Like, if she goes full-blown Esper control, then I think we're favored. Okay. We'll try this. We'll see how she boards. The problem with her Esper Aggro deck is that it could go, like, lower to the ground or it could go bigger, and it's not clear to me which she will do. This hand, how do you say it? Sucks. It is a very slow opening hand. I think we want early removal. She's mulliganed. We'll mulligan as well. Found Cinderclasm. That's pretty good. So we'll keep this. Put back, I think, the shelter. Maybe it's an island. No, I think I want my mana to come in untapped. Like the rest of the way. And this shelter is not, like, super great. Cinderclasm much worse on the draw than on the play, obviously, but you gotta do what you gotta do. There's the Butt Pirate. And yeah, that is obviously out of range of Cinderclasm. So I think we kind of have to march the Aspirant pre-combat so it doesn't outgrow the Cinderclasm, which is a terrible place to be. Oops, no, not 0. 1. This is basically face up. This is such a weird play to make otherwise. Hopefully she minuses Kaido. Yeah. We find Voltage Surge. Okay. We need to do this on upkeep, I think. Because if she has Obscura Interceptor in hand, then the Cinderclasm, or if she even has Wandering Emperor in hand, we can't let her play a land, and we need the Aspirant to phase back in. So I think this is where we're at, unfortunately. Alternatively, yeah, I think we have to. I was thinking, is there any world where we can Galvanic Iteration copy the kicked Cinderclasm, and I think that's just pie in the sky. It sucks. Like, obviously I wanted to give her the opportunity to play a little more onto the board into the Cinderclasm, but she would never do that pre-combat anyway. So, it is what it is. Okay. I wonder what that could possibly be. So this is going to be Wandering Emperor, obviously. I think we do have to Unexpected Windfall, pitching this land. There is some chance she's got like a Disdainful Stroke or something in hand, so I think I want to wait until she casts the Wandering Emperor, but like that's surely what this is. Yeah. Okay. So we'll play the Unexpected Windfall here and pitch the island. Find Expressive Iteration, that ain't bad. Let's see what she does. Create the Samurai. We find another Unexpected Windfall, which is pretty good, honestly. But I don't really want her to be able to attack with the Kaito, or to draw off the Kaito, so I think I am, as much as I hate it, going to... I could actually just kill Kaito. That's not so bad either. But she could have, like, Graphene or something. Like, there's a lot of good reasons to get a creature off the battlefield. Yeah, I think we're gonna do this. I don't know, maybe that's a weak play, maybe that's playing scared. Just feels right to me. It feels like if we draw untapped land, we have Galvanic Iteration into Windfall, and we are, like, laughing.
Now this is a juicy secret.
She's looting away lands. That's good. She's playing more lands. That's good. And there's the Ravine. Okay. And the Butt Pirate. Okay. A little scary, but she is tapped out, so hopefully we can draw untapped land here. We do. It's great. Let's see what we can see. It does suck to bin the expressive iteration, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Fine, burn down the house. That's pretty great. It doesn't actually kill Rafine. But we can Galvanic iteration, burn down the house next turn. We're gonna take a bit of a bop, but I think that's okay. And just please no Obscura Interceptor off the top. So that's gotta do some math. So Wandering Emperor is gonna buff Rafine. She's gonna go to 7. Attacking twice is gonna connive twice, which is gonna get her up to 9. If there's a Wandering Emperor, that gets up to 10. We have 4. We have 9 mana, which is enough to do it next turn anyway. I think we're supposed to do this now. It also makes her possibly think that her board is not about to get swept. I don't know. I am concerned. She didn't pump the Rafine pre-combat either with the Wandering Emperor, so it's possible her plan is actually going to be to minus. So if we can encourage her to do that.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
Okay.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Oh. Shit. Okay, that sucks. I think we need to keep burn down the house. So we're gonna lose... this sucks. We're gonna lose everything, and Rafine is gonna stick around. Unless we can draw Galvanic Iteration off the top. No such luck. Whatever, we gotta do this. Yeah, I think we hold this land as well in case we draw Unexpected Windfall. Did you draw Negate? Wow. Nice fucking draw. That's... Those all came off the top with the connives from Rafine. Just sort of found everything.
Let your blade do the talking.
I'm definitely glad we Spikefield Hazarded the Luminar Casper. I don't know what we need now. It's got to be like Unexpected Windfall,
There's no secret
and
to uncover.
you know, I mean, this is going to be a lot next turn. I assume we're just... She didn't do anything, so I assume we're going to get stroked again, or Wandering Emperored, or something else terrible. Infernal Grasp, yeah. Okay, I think I've seen enough. That was a hell of a sequence from her. Very frustrating. Okay. Do I want to change anything? Doesn't look like she boarded very much. She just brought in counter magic. The strokes don't seem great, but I think I am interested in Negate. Stroke doesn't hit Rafine, doesn't hit Kaido. Yeah, it's not super great. What do I want to cut? Yeah, I don't think I want the negate, honestly. I think I'm fine with this configuration. Um, if not for that go blank, we were going to double the burn down the house last turn or last game, and we would have been absolutely fine. Even with the counter, one of the burn downs would still have resolved, and the planeswalkers would have gone away, and then we would have had to deal with Rafine. So I think she just drew super well. Can we keep this? There's no early removal. We have a Behold. All right, I guess we'll keep. All right. Looks like she kept 6-card hand. We drew Dragon's Fire. That's outstanding. So the question is, do we want to foretell Behold here, or do we want to hold up Dragon's Fire? If she doesn't have a 3-drop, we would much rather foretell Behold here. If she has, like... If she doesn't have a 2-drop, I mean. If she has a Luminarch Aspirant, that's the worst case, and we have Dragon's Fire for that anyway. I guess she could have, like, Duress. But if she has Duress, then I think I'd rather foretell this anyway. So this is probably right. Okay, she does have the Aspirant. We find Expressive Iteration, so now the question is, do we kill the Aspirant main phase or not? I think the answer is we do. I don't want to expose myself to like protection spells or anything. Dragon's Fire is not going to hit Rafine if that's what she has in hand anyway. I think this is fine. And next turn we can Expressive Iteration into Behold. And eventually we're going to be casting Leer to get back to Dragon's Fire, so I actively want to cast it early anyway. Yeah, there's Rafine. And we definitely just cast Expressive Iteration here. Find Cinderclasm and Untapped Land. That seems pretty good. That said, Cinderclasm doesn't hit a whole lot, but it probably will. Like, it's better than Iteration, right? We have card draw with the Multiverse. I think we just want removal spells to protect ourselves. Yeah, so we'll do this. Just play the Untapped Land, cast Behold on her end step, I suppose. So this connives 1. Loots away a Rafine. Okay. Oh, okay, great. Glad we kept the wedding announcement. Sure. End step, we will Behold. Find Goldspan Dragon and Galvanic Iteration. Galvanic Iteration copying a kicked Cinderclasm does not kill Rafine. But Goldspan Dragon's pretty damn good. We're going to keep Goldspan. Another one? Sure. I'll take that. And we're just going to resolve the Goldspan while we can. We have the Security Shell to protect it from a removal spell. We have the March to protect it from a removal spell. She obviously wants to race with Rafine, but that's going to be very difficult. Wandering Emperor. We can Jwari Disrupt it. We can protect Goldspan Dragon instead. So the plan here is probably going to be to Wandering Emperor minus on the Goldspan Dragon, and we can march. It'll create a treasure. No, it won't create a treasure. We can march for X equals 1. Yeah. Probably just have to Jwari Disrupt this, I think, unfortunately. And the Jwari Disruption is not going to be very good once Lear's in play. She's been pitching a lot of lands to the Rafine. I don't know if that's because she's just drawn badly or because she thinks that's a good strategic choice. Most of the players I've seen running these Esper Aggro lists have been actively pitching spells, using Rafines like an aggro card. Alright. So, Goldspan Dragon, double attack. We have 5 mana left, which would let us Lear. Probably better to just Cinderclasm. Well, there's no way in hell I'm not playing Goldspan here. And we are attacking with both. That is certain. So she goes to 8. And she can either hold back Rafine, in which case I think we're thrilled. Or she could, like, have Wandering Emperor, which means we need Sajiri Shelter up. Or March up. Actually, March is outstanding. Like, if she goes for the pre-combat Emperor again, we can March and totally blow it out. Yeah, that's the play, right? Just say go. Do it. I dare you. Okay, so we're going to fizzle this. She's going to stay at 8. This has ward 1, so we can march for X equals 3. Let me make sure. We have 5 mana, X equals 3 plus the ward 1. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, I should have played around Disdainful Stroke. No, she only has 1 mana available. Okay. Everything's fine. Do we win? Upstairs? Yeah. All right. Cool. That's 2 wins. I think that means we are 1 away from the tournament victory. On the play. Love it. It's not a great hand. We need to draw land for this to be any good. But if we do draw land, we have Prismari Command into Goldspan Dragon on turn 4, which is too good for me to pass up. We are going to bluff having Spikefield Hazard. Does not stop him from playing his most aggressive card, which, you know, sucks. But we did draw... the land that we need to play Prismari Command next turn, so we are happy. So presumably we are going to attack. Yeah, we're going to attack with Usher. That's fine. And we're just going to boast. Okay. That feels pretty good to me. We will just untap. And... I don't think he's running Valorous Dance in the main. I remember covering his deck when he played this on a tournament a couple weeks ago, and I don't think it had Valorous Dances in the main. So I think there's little consequence to me just saying go here. That said, I don't know if I'm going to let him get into combat. I don't know. We have to fear, like, Paulo here as well. I don't know. We didn't see Paulo in our entire first round match either. I guess it's possible he's not running it. There is some, like, he had to make some cuts for the Grandmaster. Yeah, I'm not going to let him get into combat. If he plays Paulo here, so be it. Sure. That does not hit our treasure, so we are fine with it. We have turn 4 Goldspan Dragon. His hand blows so far, so it seems likely that Wandering Emperor is there. If it is, we have the March to protect the Goldspan Dragon. And we have the Show of Confidence Unexpected Windfall combo next turn, so we are just going to go. Let's say go. Let's see what he does. So, I mean, we kind of have it. We were pretty fortunate to draw the 2 lamps that we needed, but the hand has come together nicely. Let's see what he's got. Brutal Cathar. Like, the thing is, the dragon is guaranteed to remain in play next turn, no matter what he does. He saw March. Okay, so he is going to main phase the Wandering Emperor. I was thinking that if he Wandering Emperor'd on our turn, then that's a little awkward, because we don't actually get to connect with the Goldspan Dragon. But this plays right into March. Because now the Goldspan will phase out, and oh my god. Okay. What do we discard? So suppose we cast Behold the Multiverse here. We still have, we'll draw 2 cards. We'll be able to pitch one of those to the Windfall. We'll have 4 mana available. We might actually just kill him. Let's start with the main phase Behold. Oh my god. I think I want that because I actively want to discard it to the Windfall. Sure. Oh my god. Just the nuts. Okay. In that case, I don't know. The Wandering Emperor is going to do what? It's going to plus on a creature. Who gives a shit? Let's go. We find Lear too. Holy shit. Let's do it. Let's go. Pump the dragon, pump the dragon, pump the dragon. Pump the dragon. Pump the dragon. This deck is so fun. Poseidon. Time to answer the age-old question, which flavor of removal is coming? I guess the answer was Wandering Emperor. Oh, I should have Galvanic Iterationed. I think we had lethal. I think I actually missed lethal. Okay. Alright. I guess we just play Leer. This poor white deck, indeed. Your go. Um Yeah. Okay. Cool. That went pretty well. I think the sideboard plan is the same as it was last time. We bring in the Cinderclasms, we bring in the Dragon's Fires, we cut the show, we cut a Gambit, we cut the Marches, and we cut the protection spell. And I think we're pretty happy with this. Are we? Do I want to keep the protection in? He has, like, no good answers for the dragon. He's not, like, super aggressive, right? He's got... a lot of his cards are just, like, slower than the average mono-white deck, so I could be convinced to keep around a protection spell. The question is, what do we cut in order to do that? Prismari Command is not great, but it does ramp us into the dragon that much sooner. I'll just run this back. Yeah, that's a hand of magic cards. We do have 2 lands, but this is not anywhere near good enough. We're going to mull this. Only when it's midweek madness. Yeah. The problem is that, like, my magic schedule is just so up in the air that I can't play the events that only last for, like, a day or 2. This is fine. We have the early removal spell. We have the Jwari Disruption to deal with any 3-drops. The question is, what do we put back? We can either put back the Alchemist Gambit or we can put back the Show of Confidence. That's kind of a tricky question because both of these are only good once we have the Goldspan Dragon. So the question is, given that we draw a Goldspan Dragon, which one of these do we want more? And I think the answer is the Show. It's also much better against, like, Thalia as well. So I think we put back the Alchemist Gambit. Sure. Sure. More dogs. If he does have Thalia, which we haven't seen at all, I would rather hold the Voltage Surge. But I don't know. In an open deckless tournament, if I knew he had Thalia, I would not do this. But I've played him... This is the 4th game I've played against Christmas today. I haven't seen Thalia once. So I think I'm just going to try to slow him down. Tap land. And... another one. Okay, sure. Ooh. Okay, so we have the option to Foretell Behold or hold up Jwari Disruption. Next turn, he'll have 3 mana available. His best 3-drop... like, the only 3-drops we've seen out of him are Brutal Cathar and... what's it called? Skyclave. None of those scare me too much. I'd rather have the Jwari Disruption available for when he has a 4-drop. So I think that means I am okay to Foretell the Behold here. And then we hold up Jwari the following turn. If he doesn't play anything we want to counter, then we can cast Behold. And if he does have Wandering Emperor or a Planeswalker, then he is walking into a Burn Down the House. That dog is heated on playing against White Weenie. Yeah, no, I mean, no one likes playing... oh, shit, Adeline, you're right. Does that change anything? Am I super scared of Adeline? Would I counter Adeline? Yes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, but good. It looks like he doesn't have it. I... 'Cause, 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 Yeah, I think I do want the Jwari Disruption available. Yeah, not playing around Adeline sucked. That was not good. Hopefully he doesn't have Wanderer. Wanderer makes this awkward because I have to take the shields down to cast Behold. Anyway, this is fine. This is on 3. It'll go up to 4. Goes up to 5 on his next turn. Whatever. I'll counter it. Can main phase the Behold, find our land drops, cast Burn Down the House, win the game. We do have Spikefield Hazard. I think we start with the main phase, Behold the Multiverse. Smart Command, Goldspan Dragon. Smart Command's not bad. Burn Down the House is coming. I think I just want lands, actually. Smart Command's pretty good. Goldspan Dragon's pretty good. Like, Burn Down the House is coming. Then Goldspan. I want to guarantee I hit my land drops. Nice. Okay. And we'll just play this tapped. This also gives him the impression that we might be missing our land drops as well. Let's see what he does. Wandering Emperor is a threat. I don't know. Next turn, are we jamming Goldspan? If we jam if he doesn't do anything, we jam Goldspan. He casts Wandering Emperor, minuses to exile. We take a bop. The next turn, we have Burn Down the House. If it's Skyclave Apparition, that doesn't hit the dragon. If it's Cathar, then that dives to the Burn Down, and we get the Goldspan back. We're just boasting. Okay. I think this is fine. So he doesn't have Wandering Emperor. Like, there's no way that you... There's no way you boast instead of Wandering Emperor, so he doesn't have it. That's the only thing I'm scared of. We're going to jam this dragon. It's got something. Valorous Stance. I guess. Some kind of removal. Oh, okay, sure. I'll just crack the clue. Yeah, this isn't so bad. Find Dragon's Fire. That's great. Let's see. If he boasts again, then we maybe burn down the house. I don't know. I feel like our hand is just super good here. See what he draws. Go to 8. What do you think he has? You can just boast again, I guess. I should have enabled my emotes. Every time I open Arena, like, my emotes go away. I need to, like, manually set them up every single time. I don't know. What do you think he could be tanking about here with 3 mana? Maybe deciding whether to boast or hold up removal spell for another dragon? If he has Valorous... Oh. 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 Okay. I'm casting Burn Down the House. Yeah. That seemed like the right play to me. Okay. It's not nothing. I attack. I guess I want to go to combat before killing Adeline in case he draws another. He could draw a protection spell. If he draws another Adeline, how bad is that for me? We take 3. We probably still win. Okay, let's do this now. The worst thing that happens to us is he draws a protection spell, and I want to play around that more than I want to play around drawing it. Top deck any other Adeline. The Cathar drop? I think he just thought that, like, if I don't have the board wipe, then the Cathar in play means he probably gets to attack and win. So I think that could be right, depending on what else was in his hand. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think he might be dead. Alright, let's start with Unexpected Windfall. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is gonna hurt. I think you're dead. I think you're dead. Yeah. Okay. Let's sack an Unexpected Windfall. Draw. Cast Unexpected Windfall. Draw. Cast Unexpected Windfall. Draw. Cast Show of Confidence. Pump the dragon. Pump the dragon. Pump the dragon. Pump the dragon. Cast Galvanic Iteration. Cast Galvanic Iteration. Cast Show of Confidence. Casting Windfall for 2 mana. Now we have 2 treasures in play with the Goldspan Dragon, so that's 4 mana. So, the Unexpected Windfall is effectively 0 mana. And we got there. Cool. For exact lethal, too? No, not quite. How big can we get this dragon? I just gotta see. I actually have no idea. Looks like it's 19? 19. Cool. That was pretty good. I gotta say, that was pretty good.